I got it all in slow motion. Come on, man, work. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I went to school. Yeah. No. Yeah. 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 Who that? Who that? Who is that? We're going to not take it from the top. It's your girl, Professor Shaija. Who is that? That's the queen. Ooh.
Representing everything, and it's just an honor that he's doing this. And he is the one that brought the visual to hip hop. And I kind of say, thank you, Queen. Being here is he took on the legend. He's the real legend of hip hop. He hates this, but I have to do it. I have to do it. Thank you, Queen. Thank you.
Look at that! I got a shout out from Sherry Cher, first woman, founder, sister, leader. Mercedes ladies. It's the queen, Shaija Muhammad. Once again, look at that. Certificate of excellence. The idea is good. The silver medal says award. Is it a certificate of excellence or is it an award? And there's no indication that it's from Queen's Library. If I show that to my children, they'd be like, what? On the bottom, it says hip hop coordinator. Can you read that signature? My 5-year-olds that I teach out on these streets, B girls and fly girls, street outreach, they know better. They're going to say, what kind of award is that? Like, when I get awards at PS223, it says PS223 on it. And Madam President signs it. Correction, Madam Principal signs it. Also, on the flyer for the Women's History Month, Women in Hip Hop function, there was a statement. Women have been an integral part of history. Correction, let's start over. Women have been an integral part of the history of hip hop from the beginning. Join us as we celebrate the most important women in hip hop. Join Sha-Rock, Sweet Tea, Original Spinderella, DJ Flame, Sherry Cher, DJ Lady Love, Missy D, Belinda Trotter James, Debbie D, Nikki D, Antoinette, Pebbly Pooh, Kimber Reynolds, Pauline Mims, and more for a panel discussion on the current state of hip-hop. We encourage all young MCs to participate in this extraordinary event as we acknowledge a powerhouse of women that shaped the culture of hip-hop. Stop right there. That's the full statement that was on the original flyer posted to Video Music Box on Instagram, VIDEO MUSICBOX, Video Music Box for my 5-year-olds. Have your parents help you find this on Instagram. That is the statement that was on the original flyer for the Women History Month, Women in Hip Hop celebration. Here's the issue, and this is why Dennis M. Walcott, President and Chief Executive Officer at the Queen's Library, must be terminated. In this statement, the words, the most important women of hip-hop. What is your working definition of most important women in hip-hop? Because that's a vague statement. Also, the last line of the statement. As we acknowledge a powerhouse of women that shaped the culture of hip-hop. Women that shaped the culture of hip-hop. What is your working definition of the culture of hip-hop? How dare you come into the Central Library in Jamaica? Jamaica, 2-turntable DJing began in 1964 with DJ Ronald Fleming, also known as Crazy Ron. He provided the equipment for DJ Understanding God and DJ Divine, who VJ Ralph McDaniels, you have their portraits hanging on the wall in your Queen's Pioneer exhibit. They didn't start themselves. Ronald Fleming was their manager, took them to Christ the King, took them to Hotel Diplomat. They could drive. This is 1975 when he assisted them. They did not start themselves out. Yes, they went to the the Third Eye Club in South Ozone Park with the former member DJ Divine Justice, and that's where Southside Jamaica hip hop officially started. On that side of Suffolk, Southside Jamaica hip hop between Merrick Boulevard and New York Boulevard started at 16744 118th Avenue, my childhood home, where we had get-togethers every week and house parties every month. A house party could break out on a Friday. The Fantasy Disco would bring their equipment down. Eminem crew would bring their equipment down. We jammed in my front yard. We jammed in my backyard almost every other night during the summer. And we jammed from Baisley Boulevard to Linden Boulevard, Merrick, and encompassed God Brewer Boulevard. We never lost a battle ever. I never lost an MC battle. How dare you write this on the fly in South Jamaica, Queens, where I grew up at? Didn't invite me to be on the panel. That's fine because I precede hip hop. I precede this hip hop industry. But it's disrespectful to Anika Tanya Mirage, who is the most important woman in hip hop. It's disrespectful to the Sequence. Gwendolyn Chisholm, professionally known as Blondie Chisholm. Cheryl LaPearl, professionally known as Cheryl Cook. Angie Stone, professionally known as Angie B in the group Sequence. Is disrespectful to them. You're an educational institution. This is a blatant lie. The board of directors must see this video, and I am requesting that the Queensborough president submit it to the board of directors. Sharon Lee, the deputy Queensborough president, submitted to the board of directors for the Queens Library because President and Chief Executive Officer Dennis M. Walcott is not running the educational institution the way it should be run. I have been a patron of Queens Library since 1968, and all of my siblings have been patrons. How dare you disrespect me and think I'm going to accept it? Your vendor, Mike Walker, of Infidel Photographs, those photographs you took on me on February 7th do not include in the Queens Pioneer Hip Hop Project. I precede hip hop. I will submit my own project and do my own exhibit. In closing, Jamaica Sounds Power Crew. That's Donald Francis, professionally known as DJ Chili D. Michael Francis, DJ Magic Mike, who is the uncle by marriage of Curtis Jackson Jr., professionally known as 50 Cent. Southside legendary pioneer, founder of hip-hop at Fantasia, the first hip-hop club in Queens, Ralph McDaniels, even though you told me on February 7th it wasn't. You weren't there. You have proof you were there. Give some testimonies that you were there. Perhaps you are good as a hip-hop coordinator for the videos that you've done in your timeline, but you don't know it. I'm 53 and I go back to 1970. I know more about it than you do because I was there. Where were you? According to DJ Divine, you were in the house. So you have a position, but you can't expand on that position and you cannot properly tell the history because you don't know it. By your own admission, you told me, well, you and Divine, and I'm paraphrasing, have to tell Southside Jamaica history because I don't know it. So how are you in an educational institution and you don't know it? And this is disrespectful to not only the women, their families. It doesn't even say Queens Library on it. Dennis M. Walcott didn't even sign it. How dare you let something like this go out of the library? We had 9 minutes and 11 seconds. Dennis M. Walcott must be terminated immediately. The Queens Board of Directors terminate him immediately. This is an educational institution. I have youth in my mentoring programs. I have family members going to the library thinking that those women are the most important women in hip-hop. When Nicki Minaj sold 100 million records, you never see nothing like that in your life. She's the most highest selling artist out there right now and most successful, most popular in the world. Her last album debuted, it was #1 in 86 countries. And you disrespect her at a library that she studied at? No doubt. And say that these pioneering women who are affiliated with the Universal Hip Hop Museum, and Ralph McDaniels has an executive position with the Universal Hip Hop Museum. So he wants to secure both of his positions. Come on, Queens Borough President Melinda R. Katz, what's going on? He's playing games. And I'm telling you the actual truth, the actual history. Everybody's scared. Nah, you know. And then Queensboro President, you give Tony Moore a citation of honor. You give Daniel Kelly, DJ Divine, a citation of honor. Last summer, I started the campaign for Southside Jamaica Queens in 2009. Dr. Glenn Toby did a lot of consulting. Tony Moore did some. DJ Divine did some. But as soon as they were offered money, they just ran. Like, I don't even know what happened to them. They dropped the whole true history of Southside Jamaica Project, but I didn't. They don't know what I know. But they're doing what Russell Simmons did and what Afrika Bambaataa did. And Kim McNeil Capers contracted the Zulu Nation to teach hip hop in Queens, not knowing the full history. How you gonna do that? He's been a suspected pedophile for years. And you have him, his organization, come in there and teach hip hop based on what was done in Queens, in the Bronx, correction, to children in Queens. This is an outrage. They're educating the children wrong. And how could Dennis Walcott, the former chancellor of the New York City Department of Education, allow this to go out when he signed diplomas when he was the chancellor? Did it say the name of the school on it? Did it say Department of Education? You damn right it did. And now it has to be a Regents diploma. It had to say that. They had to pass it. But yet you give that out on March 16, 2019, Women's History Month. You're not going to stop my Women's History Month. I'm still going to enjoy it. It's Be Girls, Fly Girls, and Women of Hip Hop Month, March 2019. Dennis M. Walcott must be fired. Kim McNeil Capers, Ralph McDaniels, they could all go because they're only teaching a limited amount of culture based on what Queens Library wants to teach, based on their relationship with the Universal Hip Hop Museum, which does not include Southside Jamaica founders, pioneers, and legends of hip hop. I am the legendary pioneer, DJ Queen Eva Marie King, BAMS, established in 1970. Also professionally known as Professor DJ Queen Shah Asia Muhammad. BAMS, established in 1970. Queens Library, it's too late. The lies are too many. You're miseducating our children. I'm pushing this through so that Dennis M. Walcott, Kim McNeil Capers, and Ralph McDaniel, y'all can all go because you don't listen. Look at the emails that I sent you. It's ridiculous. This Saturday, March 23rd, 2019. Just for today, stay out of grown woman's business. Just for today, stay out of grown woman's business.